Hello, today we're going to be talking about proteins, and a very small piece will be of nucleic acids. Proteins are hugely important. It actually comes from the Greek word that would mean first place, suggesting the importance of this class of macromolecules. It makes up about 50% of the dry weight of the cell, so it is huge in being a structural component of cells. It's going to allow particles to get in and out of cells. There are transport proteins, there are cell membrane proteins that allow things to pass. They're also going to play a big role in us when we get sick and fighting our disease. They make up skin, hair, nails, muscles. They are going to act as messengers and receptors for cells. They're going to act as enzymes, and we'll talk about enzymes in a bit. And pretty much they're made up of what's called an amino acid. Now, an amino acid is going to contain the elements C, H, O, and N. So carbs contain C, H, and O with a ratio of 2 to 1. Lipids is just C, H, and O. Now proteins is C, H, O, and N. Okay, an amino acid and the way that they're bonded together makes up the proteins. Now, the amino acids are broken down into 4 different categories, and we're not really going to get into that, but I wanted you to be aware that there are different categories, and there are 20 different amino acids. When they all join together and the way that they fold and such makes a very globular mass, and that would be what a protein would look like. So, amino acids. An amino acid has a central carbon. It is bonded to an amino group, a carboxyl group, a lone hydrogen, and the R group, or the variable group. So all amino acids have this in common. What changes is the R. Okay, so again, a central carbon bonded to a hydrogen, an amino group, a carboxyl group with the R group. Okay, and again, these are just showing you some examples of how the R group changes to make each amino acid unique. Now, a peptide is formed when 2 amino acids are bonded to another. So a dipeptide is 2, polypeptide is many amino acids bonded together. The peptide bond, okay, is joining 2 amino acids together. So we link the carboxyl group of one amino acid with the amino group of the other. And I will show you that picture. Okay, so we have the carboxyl group and the amino group. We do need to remove the water, okay, and that's going to join the peptide bond in the amino acid formation. Okay, now there are 4 different levels of protein structure. Okay, we have primary structure, which is just the sequence of amino acids. So how the amino acids are bonded together. The secondary structure is going to have an alpha helix shape or a beta pleated sheet. So this is just occurring from hydrogen bonds within the amino acids. Now, the tertiary structure forms a polypeptide, and this is a nice 3D shape. Quaternary structure occurs when we join many polypeptides together, maybe 4 different subunits. Okay, so just to kind of review, and there will be writing of all this in more pictures, but the primary structure is the sequence of amino acids. Secondary structure, you form an alpha helix or a beta pleated sheet. And again, this is because of the hydrogen bonding that occurs. Tertiary structure makes a polypeptide with a 3D shape. Okay, it could be very globular or fibrous in nature. And pretty much this is all because of the interactions within the R groups. And last, we have the quaternary structure, which joins multiple polypeptides together. So, primary structure, sequence of amino acids. Secondary structure, we have an alpha helix and we have a beta pleated sheet. Tertiary structure is the 3D shape that we get when we have some interaction between the R groups. And the quaternary structure is going to be maybe 4 subunits that are bonded together, 4 polypeptides. Okay. The last organic compound we'll talk about is nucleic acids. The 2 main types of nucleic acids we have are DNA and RNA. Deoxyribose nucleic acid, ribose nucleic acid. Their basic building block is made up of a sugar, a phosphate, and a base. And that structure with the 3 of them together is called the nucleotide. Okay, so you have a sugar, a base, and a phosphate. We will focus in depth on DNA and RNA a little later in the year, so you'll learn more about that. And this is just showing you our DNA. Okay, so as a review, we have talked about carbs, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. This slide just tells us the basic building blocks. With carbs, we have the basic building block of glucose, of monosaccharides, and it could be further broken down into disaccharides and polysaccharides. Lipids is made up of 1 glycerol and 3 fatty acids, or 1 glycerol, a phosphate group, 2 fatty acids. Okay, we have fats, oils, phospholipids, steroids, wax, etc. Proteins are made up of amino acids. There are 20 different amino acids. The sequence of joining is called primary structure. When they start to hydrogen bond together, that makes a secondary structure. Tertiary structure, some interactions with the R groups, is what makes the amino acids different. And quaternary structure is the combination of multiple polypeptides. And nucleic acids are broken down into nucleotides, which is made up of a sugar, phosphate, or a base. If you have any questions, please see me tomorrow. Thanks.